Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. Here's my contact information. If you put your tiles on social media, I would ask you to please use at @BBL_Tangles, and that allows Instagram and Facebook to give me a notice that you've posted something, and I love to see what you've done. All right, I am continuing with my focus on 102 Tangles of Zentangle, and that is the name of the poster that introduced me to Zentangle. And this is video number 28 in this series. I have less than 20 to go now, and so not very long, and then I'll find something else to focus on for you. Probably botanical type things for a while because it's springtime and I love doing botanical type patterns. All right, so for today, the patterns that I'm going to show you are Chainging, Hurry, and Tagh. And again, these are the 102 Tangles of Zentangle, and they're the older patterns. The poster came out in 2009. I'm using a 3.5 inch Zentangle white tile. I'll probably use my Micron PN, and I apologize for the shadows and stuff. It is very cloudy and raining. This is May 5th, and I'm doing this a few days early because my Zentangle teacher is coming to visit for a few days, Victoria McMillan, and so I'm trying to get a couple of videos done ahead of time. These are the pens that I use most of the time. I have the washi tape down here to tell me that these two pens are new, and this one is not so new. I'm going to need a new one for that soon. I think it's running out. My blending stump, also known as a tortillon, and a Zentangle graphite pencil, and I keep a kneaded eraser close by, but I don't use it all the time. It's just there if I want to use it. All right, we're going to start first with a deep breath, and then just relax and be grateful for the day, grateful that we can be together and learn some more patterns. Let's see if I can zoom in. And again, I try to adjust this light a little. I'm right by a window, and I love having the light coming through the window, but it's not happening today. We're going to start with our 4 corner dots. I'm going to do mine fairly close to the edge, just so I have more room. Your lines don't have to be perfectly straight, but we are going to start with our 4 corner dots and a border. And the first one I'm going to show you is called Chainging. Okay, so it kind of looks like a braided chain or braided hair. And I do want to show you, before I get that going, that there are 2 patterns from Zentangle that look very much alike. So this is Chainging, and that's what I'm going to show you today. But this one is Punzel, okay? And I meant to write that on here. This one is Punzel. And then this one is Chainging. Okay? And I used my pastel pencils to just kind of show that it ends up looking like braided hair or rope that's braided. And this one is a little more complicated. And so just to let you know, This is Punzel. This is Changing. Okay. So for my string, I'm going to bring Changing kind of across this way. Okay. So that's just kind of a guide. And with Changing, you only have C curves to work with, okay? And we start with 2, like that. And then I'm going to come down a little bit and come across like this. And then I'm going to do that again, okay? And if I didn't meet that one, I'm going to pull it down. And then I'm going to bring another one across here. And so these first few lines can be a little bit tricky, but once we get those started, the rest of it's easy. So just think of this as being that rope, and it's going to come around like this, and here's the other side of it. It's going to come around this way, okay? And so here's this one. It's going to come around the same. Okay, so we're just going to keep alternating like that. This one is not so easy, but I will think about teaching that one another time. Okay, so I'm going to start up close to the top and do my 2 C curves here. All right, and like I said, on this one, I'm going to come down a little bit and then come across, make that one touch, and then I'm going to go back up to the top on this one and bring it around, okay? And now we're going to make our second little rope come across this way. And I'm just going to try to make them all be about the same width. All right. And for here, we can just go ahead and bring that line over like that. All right. So this rope is going to come around this way. So that line goes under. It's going to come across and about there. Do the same thing with this one. Bring it around. Have it end about like that. We're just going to keep going back and forth. And if your line doesn't meet up with that first one, then just finish it. Bring another one over. Okay, here we go with this one. So we're just going to go back and forth. Just a simple C curve. Okay, back to this side. Once you can kind of see this in your mind, it makes it a little bit easier to figure it out. Okay, now we're back up to this one. Curve it around. Curve it around. And it does tend to get a little bit bigger as you go down. I have seen them where they don't, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Again, just take your time. I'm going to go back to this side. That one got a little bit fat. That's okay. All right. This one's going to come around again. Now this one. Okay, got to our borders. We're going to stop to here. Now this one's going to come around. And that one. Okay. The next thing they do is fill in this center part. And this is where I'm going to change to my graphic one because it has a thicker tip. And that's just so it doesn't take me so long to get through this. I got something on the tip of it. Okay, so I was just cleaning the tip. Okay. I don't speed up my videos, even on the parts that are very repetitive, because for me, watching a video that is sped up gives you the impression that you want to finish this quickly. And that's not at all the goal of the Zentangle method. The idea is to take your time and enjoy drawing one line at a time. Now, you can watch my videos, you can speed them up if you want to, but again, I don't want you to get the impression that Zentangle is an art form that should be done quickly. Just enjoy it. Okay, so we're just going to fill these in. And this has such a fat tip, I have to still be a little bit careful with it. For those of you that know that I'm in the Houston, Texas area, I am about an hour away from the area that is flooding. It's really devastating what's happening up there. And my thoughts and prayers go out to those people who have lost so much. Luckily, in the over 30 years that I've been in my home, it's never flooded. Yeah, this graphic one is about to run out of ink. You could leave this open if you wanted to, not fill it in, but I want to show you how it looks. Show you how it looks in the step outs. Okay, so there we go. The next step for this is to aura it. So I'm going to start here. I like to point my pencil toward what I'm trying to aura. It helps me to make the lines look a little better. Not perfect, but better. Before I forget, this area where you have added so much ink, keep your hand away from it for a while. It's going to take a while for it to dry. Okay, so now we're adding the aura to the other side. Okay. So there is Chainging. All right, on this side, I'm going to add Hurry. And I think it's an interesting name because it's not a pattern that you do in a hurry. Zentangle from the beginning has tried to name their patterns in such a way that it doesn't make you think of a tree or a horse or a bug or something like that. Ideally, the patterns are just easy to draw and they combine to make beautiful art. Okay, so for hurry, it's a lot of straight lines that cross each other. I'm going to start with a line coming straight down and then another one right next to it. And you can tell my lines are not perfectly straight. But for the rest of these, I'm going to try to keep them about that far apart. Now I'm going to come this way. And it just happens to be easier for me to keep a line fairly straight if I pull it toward me. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to come this way. And that one is going under those first two. All right, now I'm going to turn and do the same thing in this direction. So hurry makes a fun filler. As you can see, it can go in any area. Okay, so that's our first step. Next thing we're going to do is go back to the first one that we drew, and that's this one. You can tell because all the others are going under it. And we're going to aura it on both sides. Trying to keep it about the same distance. I think this one's actually smaller, and that's okay. Okay, so this is our second line. We're going to aura that one now. And I'm not going to turn my tile so much like I normally would, just because it's a lot of lines on this one. Okay, so we did this way and that way. Now these are going to get aura'd. So we have our aura on each side of these. And now this one. And then I'll show you a trick for how I end up finishing these. So when I've got them all aura'd for the first time, then you can just stay in this one section. Okay, so here's the last line that I did here. So now I'm going to aura here. Then I'm going to do this one. And then just turn my tile a little. Do that one. Okay, you get the same results, but you just don't keep turning your tile back and forth. That one. Okay, and we might see that one. All right. Excuse me. So here was the the last line that I did here. So just add your auras, turn your tide a little bit, add the next one. And I did not get that one as wide as the others. It is totally okay. Okay, so I'm just going to continue filling these sections. All right, so I can tell that was the last line because it's meeting up with that one. Okay, over here, that's the last line that I did. Okay. Or it can be a very interesting monotangle, filling your whole tile. Okay, so this was the last line. Add this one. Oops, no mistakes. Okay, so now this way. So I just look for where is the last place that they meet, and that's there. So now this one, and you can't see the other. Okay, so that's Hurry. And it's really pretty when you do it in color and add a little bit of highlighting to it. And the third one that we're going to do is called Tagh. And I do believe that Tagh has been retired. I think I made a note on that somewhere. So that just means that that pattern won't show up in our CZT Zenthology, which is the book that we get when we finish training. Tagh isn't in the newest one. Excuse me. So with this one, I'm just going to start with about here in the center. And this can come from any area, okay? So you can come from a corner or you can start in the middle. So that's what I'm going to do in this one. And I've seen it done really big and it's really cute. It has this little thing, a little tip inside of it, okay? A little embellishment, like a teardrop type shape. And you could just go ahead and do all of these little petal shapes and then come back and add these little embellishments or do it all at the same time. I just wanted to do this one a little differently. I've always done it like that. And of course, I always look around at the different ways that other people have done it, and I liked that one. So we're going to start here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and add these bigger petals. And I'm going from the top of each of these petals to the petal next to it. I think it just makes a fun pattern. Okay, now I'm putting little dark spots in the middle. don't know if you can hear the thunder. There's still storms around us, but we're doing okay. All right, so I'm going to go up to this one. I'm not worried that they're not all the same. Okay. Now I'm going to start, since we're getting close to the edge, I'm just going to put, let's put 3 up here. I don't think I've tried it before, but this would make a nice blossoming petal with everything coming out from the center and filling up your tile. Okay, let's put 2 here. I think I'm going to go ahead and put 1 here. Okay. And I'm going to add 1 here. Just look at your art and decide how you want to do it. Let's put 1 here. Okay, I think I'm good. All right, now for shading. For changing, where it goes under another side, I'm going to put just a little bit of graphite to show that there's a slight shadow. Okay, you don't need much. Okay, now we're going to take our tortillon. Don't know if I mentioned, I have this in there, the paper clip, because it helps me to keep a better tip. So now we're just going to soften that on each side. Okay. And now I'm going to add a pretty good amount of graphite on this side of our aura. And I want my pencil to touch that line. And don't leave a space between like that. You want your pencil to point to the line that you want to shadow on. Okay, and now we're going to soften that. I'm doing just little circles and pulling it toward the hurry pattern. And it makes it kind of look like this pattern is floating above that one. All right, and down here, if you want to, you can add a little bit of shading where these lines meet. And that's generally all I do on this. And I'm just using what's already on my blending stump. Okay. And that gives you just enough of a shadow to show that these sections are meeting. Okay. And then for changing, I'm going to do the same thing like I did over here. Put some graphite along this edge of the aura that we put in. Soften it. Okay. And then in each of these little sections, I'm just going to add a little bit of graphite where each of these goes behind. I'm not putting much. I haven't done Tagh like this before. I wasn't sure how I was going to do. Just think, what if I tried it this way this time? How's it going to look? Just have fun with it. Okay. Now with our blending tool, we're just going to soften that. Oh, sorry. Forgot to put my phone on silent. All right, there we go. You've now learned 3 more of the 103 Tangles of Zentangle. Changing, Hurry, and Tagh. And again, I would encourage you to put the pattern names on the back. And this is 102 Tangles of Zentangle is the hashtag that I've been using. Sign it, date it, put information on the back if you want to remember what's happening that day. A little journal entry. And then when you look back on it, you know what was happening that day. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, I hope that you'll hit the like button, share, leave comments, and come back again. We've only got a few left. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.